We don't hold ourselves accountable, and I absolutely agree. I was sick one day this week, and there was already 4 more grounds for impeachment. Pick one. He made a little girl cry. Let's go with that one.
I think that while impeachment is incredibly appealing, it would be, come on, it would be fantastic. And of course, I'm talking about impeaching Joe Lieberman. But no, but one thing, you know, we had who we have on the show who talked about impeaching Cheney first, which is obviously, and the impeachment, and impeaching Dick Cheney would be the problem with impeaching George Bush is, right or wrong, the moment that process begins is the moment that everything else stops. And I think just about everybody here, as much as we think these guys have to go, we have got to figure out Iraq before we move on to something like impeachment. I mean, there is
done in 3 days.
See? Everybody agrees, like I said. I have my finger on the pulse of this crowd.
No. You can't. Now, this is where you can get it done in 3 days in the House. And these people can do more than walk and chew gum. This is what the people want. First of all, you're never going to get a trial in the Senate. You're not going to get a trial in the Senate. But I can guarantee you, if you want to change policy in Iraq, you just tell George Bush that he's going to be right up there with Clinton in the history books when it comes to impeachment. And he'll change.
Ed, I think that sounds great. I don't think we have an ounce of evidence that this guy is, I mean, he's at 26%, Cheney's at 21 or 13%. I don't see any evidence that these guys, in the threat of putting him in the history books next to Andrew Johnson, Richard Nixon, and Bill Clinton, it's going to make any difference. His reaction to that will be, you're pushing me, I will go stronger. So I hear you. I love the idea, but I want to solve Iraq first.
That will push more people to the Democrats in 2008 if they show to the American people that they are about accountability and truth. The problem why the Democrats right now aren't doing so well in the Congress is many of you think they're not doing anything. If they actually say, Mr. President, all right, you're going to let Scooter out of jail. You're going to have Alberto Gonzales lie to the Senate Intelligence Committee. You got an illegal NSA program. Sooner or later, the people have got to count, and the place to have them count is in the people's house. It's leadership. Take him to the woodshed, impeach him, and watch groundswell support come to the Democrats in 2008.
Amen. Ben, I would submit to you that this is the people, and they're
then
not
again,
agreeing with your position.
I could be wrong.
You know what? How refreshing that someone would stand up and say, I might be wrong. That's something this guy's never done.
So, Cenk, electable candidates. I mean, we don't. I think that there's a real fear of the McGovern factor. This whole thing, and even I'm even hearing talk show hosts talk, or mostly on television, the cable guys talking about how it's not anti-war that's going to get somebody elected or not elected, and in fact, an anti-war candidate may be, somebody perceived as a peacenik would be a negative for the Democratic Party. I don't believe that, but
Okay.
What's electable mean?
All right, I want to address a couple of things. First, real quick, last word on impeachment. I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression here, okay? We got so fed up on the Young Turks that's what Mike's shirt's all about. We said we've had enough. The Scooter Libby thing broke the camel's back. Whether we all think that impeachment is the right thing, okay? We think it's the moral thing. We think it's the just thing, and because we and it's all about accountability, et cetera, right? But when he commuted the sentence of Scooter Libby, we thought, that's it. It doesn't matter what you thought of the strategy, what you thought of the politics. You can't let them break the law anymore, okay? You can't let them do it. We've had enough. We've had enough. And so that's why people are getting together on all across the country at noon on Sunday in their local areas and saying enough is enough. So I wanted to address that. Now, on to the electable candidates. Look, you know, Stephanie talked about a TV show. I'm reminded of Gladiator, one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, Caesar pulls Maximus aside, Russell Crowe's character, and he says, I want you to be the next Caesar. And he says, I don't want to do it. And he says, that's exactly why it's got to be you. Okay? And that reminds me of Al Gore. He doesn't want to do it, okay? But that's why it's got to be him, okay?
There was another wonderful thing in that movie, too. He says, win the crowd and win your freedom.
Yeah.
Hell of a movie.
And so the reason I bring up Al Gore in that context is I know he's electable because he already won. He already won once. Yep. And, you know, he won the popular vote, whatever, no matter what you think of the electoral vote, okay, which I know we all agree here on the electoral vote as well, but some in the country don't. But no matter what you think of it, the facts are he won the popular vote. He's already won an election.
He had 5 million more votes than Bush.
Right. So I know. And who voted for Gore last time who thinks, well, no, I should have voted for Bush? Yeah. No one. No one. Okay? And who voted for Bush who'd love to make up for their mistake? Okay? A lot of people. So I know he can win. But I think any of them can win. I really do. I mean, I partly agree with Ed that look, all these candidates are 1,000 times better than the Republican candidates. I mean, Rudy Giuliani is Bush on steroids. He's talking about attacking other countries. Okay, he's nuts. All these guys are nuts. Okay, so I want a Democrat no matter what, and I think they're all electable. You know why? Because you say anti-war can't win. Anti-war, 70% of the country. And anti this war we can't stand that we've lost so many people over. 70% of the country says, get out now. In Iowa, 54% of the Republican voters say get out now. Yep. Okay? Yep. So if you're not anti this war, you can't win. Right. Okay?
So, I agreed. So let's more specifically.
Well, first of all, Gladiator, then Karl Rove put the poison on the end of the sword, right? The guy that's... All right. I'm bad with movies. Anyway. But, you know, I see, that's the thing. I am for Obama, I guess, at this point, because you know, I think there is a real hunger. First of all, I agree with Ed. The bar is so low, like, we would put fucking Carrot Top in at this point. It's just... We'd be like...
Speaking of steroids...
How much room do you need for your props? Fine. But,
you know... referring to Ed?
Oh, not that Carrot Top.
We should clarify that. So,
but you know,
because Ed's already announced he's running. You know.
You know, I just think that he plays to your better angels, and I think people are so hungry for that. You know, we've had so much fear mongering and dividing, and I think that, you know, when you think back to his speech at the convention, you know, it just was like, I feel like if it comes down to, say, him and Giuliani, it literally is a choice between fear and hope.
I think we're seeing a tremendous amount of discipline on the part of the Democratic candidates by not jabbing at one another. You know, the media is looking for a fight between Hillary and Obama, Edwards, you know, Obama, Edwards, Hillary, whatever. And I think that they're focused on the issues, they're focused on the war, they're focused on the middle class. And I think that the other day when Obama gave a speech, and he made the comment about, you know, you've got to own up to this war, and all of a sudden all the cable networks were saying, oh, he's taking a shot at Hillary. Never mentioned Hillary's name, and of course referring to her 2002 vote. So I think, you know, they're showing a lot of discipline, and I think that they're focused on the issues, and that's good. Sooner or later it's going to be fun because the Republicans are really going to start jabbing one another, and because they don't have a candidate. They really, and it's just my take, I think Jeb Bush is still a possibility. Look out.
Man.
I think he's waiting for 12, but I agree with you. He's coming down the road.
That's a tough choice. Who the family values guy is over there, right? We got the guy caught selling blow for Rudy Giuliani, and then who's the other guy? Oh, he was caught offering an undercover cop $20 for him to give him oral sex, which is
believe
just
that?
bad money management
Believe that?
and stupid.
Can't make that